Imagine if you could turn the tables on Wall Street. What if the real secret to building wealth wasn't found in secret stock tips, market predictions, or inside information, but in something so simple, so accessible, that it's been right in front of you all along? In the Little Book of Common Sense Investing, John C. Bogle doesn't just reveal this secret. He shatters the myths of traditional investing and gives you the blueprint to secure your financial future. Lesson 1. Index funds, your ultimate wealth engine. What if there was a way to invest without stressing about which stock to pick or when to buy? Bogle's message is clear. Index funds are the ticket to tapping into the entire market's power without breaking a sweat. Instead of chasing unicorn stocks or relying on expensive fund managers, index funds allow you to own a slice of the entire stock market at a fraction of the cost. Picture this. Investor A dumps thousands into hot tech stocks, convinced they're on the verge of the next Amazon. Investor B buys a simple S&P 500 index fund and forgets about it. Fast forward 15 years. Investor B not only outperforms Investor A, but does so while paying next to nothing in fees. The Vanguard S&P 500 fund, one of the largest in the world, has consistently trounced the majority of active funds over time. No complicated stock picks, just pure market returns. Want to learn more personal finance secrets? Hit the subscribe button to receive each week. Lesson 2. Stock picking is a fool's game. Many people believe they can outsmart the market, pick the next big winner, and cash in. But here's the cold, hard truth. Bogle reveals that the odds of successfully picking winning stocks over the long term are worse than a coin flip. The experts, the analysts, even hedge fund managers, they're all playing a game most can't win. Remember Peter Lynch, the superstar manager of Fidelity's Magellan Fund? Even Lynch, after his stellar career, admitted that the average investor would be better off in an index fund. Why? Because even the best can't keep beating the market forever. Bogle hammers home the point with jaw-dropping data showing that over 30 years, nearly 99% of actively managed funds fail to outperform the market. Lesson 3. Fees are the silent killer. It might not sound glamorous, but understanding fees could be the single most important thing you do as an investor. Bogle demonstrates how even small fees compound over time, quietly eating away at your wealth. Most investors don't realize that over decades, fees can drain hundreds of thousands of dollars from their portfolios. Imagine two investors start with $100,000. One invests in a low-cost index fund with a 0.1% fee, while the other chooses an actively managed fund charging 2%. After 40 years, the difference between their portfolios is staggering. The low-cost fund investor ends up with twice as much money. That's the power of low fees, and why Bogle was relentless in creating low-cost funds through Vanguard. Lesson 4. Market timing. The ultimate trap. Trying to time the market is like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. It almost always backfires. Bogle explains that the biggest gains come when you least expect them. And if you're out of the market during just a few of these critical days, you lose big. Take the 2008 financial crisis. Many investors panicked and sold at the bottom, missing out on the recovery that followed. If you had stayed in the market and simply held on to your investments, you would have seen a massive rebound by 2013. Bogle gives countless examples where those who stayed invested reaped the rewards, while market timers were left seriously hurting. Lesson 5. Compound interest, your secret superpower. Bogle calls compound interest the eighth wonder of the world for good reason. When you reinvest your dividends, your money begins to earn interest on itself, creating a snowball effect that grows exponentially over time. The earlier you start, the more powerful this force becomes. Let's say you invest $10,000 in an index fund and earn an average annual return of 7%. In 10 years, that investment would double. In 20 years, it quadruples. After 40 years, your $10,000 turns into over $150,000, all thanks to the magic of compounding. This is the power of staying invested, letting time do the work, and watching your wealth multiply. Lesson 6. The stock market, casino or wealth machine. Wall Street loves to make the stock market feel like a high-stakes casino, where only the savvy, the connected, and the lucky win. But Bogle exposes this illusion and shows that for most, the stock market is a powerful wealth-building machine, if you play it right. The secret? Stop gambling on individual stocks and bet on the market itself. Think back to the dot-com bubble. Investors were obsessed with tech startups, convinced they were about to strike it rich. But after the bubble burst, many saw their portfolios wiped out. Meanwhile, those who stuck with index funds rode the market's recovery and ultimately came out far ahead. Bogle's advice: don't play the game, own the market. 7. Diversification, your best defense. Diversification isn't just a buzzword, it's your best defense against risk. When you invest in an index fund, you automatically own shares of hundreds or even thousands of companies, spreading your risk across the entire market. Remember how Kodak was once a titan of the film industry, only to be crushed by the digital revolution? Or how Blockbuster was everywhere until Netflix wiped it off the map? Bogle points out that if you were invested in individual stocks like Kodak or Blockbuster, you would have lost big. But in an index fund, those losses would have been offset by winners like Apple and Amazon, keeping your portfolio growing steadily over time. Lesson 8. The Index Fund Revolution. From Bogle's folly to global phenomenon. When Bogle launched the first index fund in 1976, Wall Street laughed. They called it Bogle's folly and predicted it would flop. But Bogle wasn't deterred. He knew that his vision of low-cost, broad-based investing would change the game. And it did. The Vanguard 500 Index Fund now manages over $500 billion in assets, making it one of the largest funds in the world. Bogle's folly became the foundation of modern investing, and today, trillions of dollars are invested in index funds. Investors who embraced Bogle's philosophy early on saw their portfolios grow, while Wall Street's naysayers missed out on the revolution. Lesson 9. Speculation versus investing. Know the difference. Bogle draws a sharp line between investing and speculating. Investing is about long-term growth, while speculation is about trying to make a quick buck by timing the market or picking the next hot stock. Bogle warns that speculation is where most investors lose their shirts. During the housing bubble of the 2000s, speculation was rampant. People were buying houses to flip for quick profits. When the bubble burst, those speculators were left with properties worth a fraction of what they paid. Meanwhile, long-term investors who stayed diversified in index funds weathered the storm and saw their portfolios recover and thrive. Lesson 10. Stay the course. The ultimate lesson. Bogle's final and most important lesson: stay the course. The stock market will have ups and downs, but history shows that it always rebounds over the long term. The key is to have a strategy, stick with it, and ignore the noise. Bogle recounts the stories of investors who bailed out during the market crashes of 1987, 2000, and 2008, only to miss out on the rebounds that followed. Those who stayed the course, who trusted in their index funds and avoided panic selling, came out far ahead. The lesson? Stay calm, stay invested, and let time work its magic. In the Little Book of Common Sense Investing, Bogle turns the complex world of finance upside down. His message is bold and clear. The simplest approach is often the most powerful. Forget stock picking, forget market timing, and forget chasing the latest hot tips. By embracing low-cost index funds, focusing on long-term growth, and staying the course, you can build lasting wealth, no matter what the market throws your way. This isn't just theory, it's the secret that has already transformed the lives of countless investors. Now it's your turn to take the reins. Check out our playlist to learn more financial secrets.